just reading like 4 or 5 pages per day is fine.
It doesn't have to be very heavy things.
Hey guys, I'm AJ.
I'm Rini.
And welcome to TFA Talkshow. Today, we have not only one but two guests with us, and they are Nursheila as well as Zafirah Zain. They are the co-founders and co-editor of Akar magazine, a Singapore-based publication which features stories from the histories of Southeast Asia. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nursheila. You can just call me Sheila. By day, I'm also a researcher at a local think tank, and what I do is I research on like the intersections of religion, politics, and interreligious relations. Yeah. Then on the side, I also do like other editing work for more academic and report style writings.
Okay. Hi guys, I'm Zafirah. By day, my full-time job is I write data-driven stories for a local editorial studio with a focus on Asia. I spent the last 2 years mostly covering social, environmental, and human rights issues for a sustainability media organization. And on the side, I also do some editing and research writing for production or creative projects.
How can freelancers be proficient in writing?
To be good in writing or to get into that flow, they have to write a lot. It comes with a lot of practice and just basically practicing any form of writing or just writing every day, and also read a lot because that just improves your language and you learn from other people, other writers, other journalists, other authors, different styles, and how they get their voice out there. So yeah, I think the main thing is writing and reading a lot.
And I think read widely across genres as well, because like personally for me, what I write in my day job and what I write for Akar are two very different things. So whereas like for research, more academic purposes, it has a more serious tone to it. And you need your references, you need to cite authors. So the style of writing is different than when you write for Akar, which is more storytelling. It's more story based, it's more personalistic in that sense. So if you read across genres, you get to pick up the different styles. So you can adapt when it comes to writing different things.
You mentioned that we need to read a lot and across, genres. But what if we don't like to read? What is your advice?
Just reading like 4 or 5 pages per day is fine. I think just to get in the groove of it and make that a habit.
Right.
I mean, I love reading, but I actually struggle with writing every day. And people have to tell me like, Zaf, you have to write every day. Just open your notebook before bed or like in the morning and just write anything. So like, even if you don't like the book, you don't want to read it, they just do it. Even if the words that come out of your pen and don't sound good and it really looks like it doesn't make sense, just write it. So I think just making it a habit, reading or writing something.
Yes, you need to get into the habit of writing every day and reading every day. Also, it doesn't have to be much very heavy things. I'm pretty sure actually we read a lot on a daily basis because now we have like news and everything all on our phones. But I think we do read more than we think we do. There's also a way of like how you read, and I think this is something that I've a tip that I've also received from colleagues as well, is that when you read, you should reflect on what you're reading and make little notes. At least if you don't know what to write on, or like for that day, you're like, oh, what do I write? You can write on what you read. So then you're reflecting on the piece, and there's some like continuity also there.
If let's say we don't write anything, we just do a reflection and then maybe just put a post-it note, is also a form of writing in a way, right?
Yes.
Okay, now since we're going to go and since we're in the topic of writing, maybe both of you can share like what makes a good write-up.
Good English is very crucial to what makes a good write-up. But also, yeah, having it be very clear. The message is very, basically very clear to the audience. It's not all over the place.
So is it a right to say that for a good write-up, it's all about the language, the English, the grammar, and how you use them?
It's
I
definitely a big part,
Yeah, it's
but it's
definitely a
not
big part.
all.
I think because also, like I work in the journalism industry, and
Mm.
we have to do a lot of pitches, so we have to email editors.
Right.
If we are freelancer, we have to email these different outlets, and if your email, the pitch, the grammar is not on point, even the pitch, not just the full proposal or the article itself,
Mm.
you will probably not get a reply.
So how do one effectively market themselves in writing? It could be like emails, or it could be, let's say they want to launch something.
Yeah, I guess it's to have a particular niche and voice. I think that's super important to stand
Mm.
out among like other writers.
When you say niche and voice, right, does it also apply to other industry, not just for writing as
Mm.
well?
So I think it applies across all industries. Macam you don't have to be a writer. I mean, in the sense that we're not just talking about creating your voice in terms of your writing, but as the product that you wish to pitch or create. I think it's important to come up with a way to tell the story behind your product so that people will want to see it and people will want to know more about it.
Can you share with us what are the checklists for freelancers who want to start writing, let's say in emails or newsletter?
Okay, so I think one of the main things is to have good grammar, and by good grammar, I just mean basically the basics must be there, like the fundamentals, grammar fundamentals must be there. So they should be proper sentences, they should make sense. Another thing is having clear, simple writing that is understandable, digestible for the reader. So nothing too complicated or bombastic. Um, and then having, if you're writing like a long piece or like a long essay, there should be a strong hook. The introduction should be attention grabbing, so it pulls in the reader to continue reading.
I think you can also experiment with your style so you don't have to limit yourself to a particular structure, a very rigid structure. You basically experiment and it fit the, let's say if you're pitching a story somewhere, you can look at uh, the look at other stories that the publication have published and see how
Right.
you can write in a way that fits their theme and or their style. So yeah, the structure can be a bit more fluid, but it's still important to have a very good flow.
Mhm.
And so like Zaf mentioned, you start off with a very strong hook, and then along the way you can experiment with how you want to tell your story, but the story has to flow.
Right.
At the same time, like I mentioned, you should also do research. I think background research is very important, be it writing for a publication or writing your emails.
Mhm.
So if you're writing an email, just be sure that you research on your, let's say you're writing an email to client, read up on what they do, read up on um, the things they're looking out for, so that you know that you are giving them what they're looking out for.
Mhm.
Spell their name right. That's also a very important thing. And when you're writing, write in full and don't use like short forms.
Thank you so much, ladies, for being on board with us. So maybe you can share with us, where can our viewers and listeners connect with you?
Okay, so you can visit us on our website, www.akarprint.com. Also on Instagram, we're quite active on Instagram, and it's the same name. So instagram.com/akarprint, AKARPRINT. And we're currently having sale for our second issue. We're selling issue 2, which is, the title is Motion, along with handmade bags by a local batik distributor, as well as postcards from artists from Singapore and Malaysia. So check our Instagram out, and get our bundle.
And if you want to get our physical issues, we are stocked at Books actually, at Wardah Bookstore and also at Kinokuniya. Both issues should still be in stock. Yeah, but if they're not, you can always DM us.
Thank you so much. I think whatever you guys are doing, it's amazing. Continue the good work, and thank you so much for being on board with us. So if you guys find our content useful, don't follow us on our social media platforms at YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Telegram, as well as Facebook at The Freelancers Academy.